Uh, Here we are. Welcome to Pyropods. I'm going to do away with the cold open. I'm just going to have me moaning. Hi, Pat.
Hello, how are you? Apart from tired.
Tired, got a headache, all the rest of it. No, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Aaron, you're back. Hello, mate.
Hello. Yeah, good to be back. First one of the new season. Buzzing.
Yeah, buzzing. Yeah, Nick's here. Hello, mate.
Hello. I'm
Right.
off the back of a catfish and a bottlemen gig last night, so I am also slightly tired.
And look who it is. The OG, Drakkers is here. Hello, mate.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing? All right?
Yeah, good. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see your smiling face.
Oh, well,
We keeping busy?
not many people say that, so I'll take that as a compliment and we'll crack on. Yeah, been very busy, as always. But yeah, lovely to be here.
Excellent. Right. Well, I mean, let's just dive straight in, shall we? There's lots to discuss today, and we're going to start with Blackpool 2, Hitmen 3. So we started with Philip Marshall in goal, which took me by surprise. I didn't think he'd be in from the get-go, but there he was. Luther, Good, Pidge, and Butler as a back four. Then you had Jordan Houghton and Harvey White as midfield two. Jordan Roberts on the right, Dan Kemp, and then Kim Campbell on the left, and Jamie Reed up top. Possession-wise, 65-35 split in their favour. They had more shots in total, but we had more on target, 4 to their 2. Our pass success rate was exactly 50%, which is pretty poor, if I'm honest. We won a very close aerial battle. Tackles, corners, all dribbles, successful dribbles, all the same. And I think that's probably a fair reflection. Stats don't always sort of tell the full picture of a game, do they? Sometimes you can look at the stats, and I think one for me that I wasn't at. So I was like, how have we won that like 4 or 5-0 against Barrow a few years ago at home? Because the stats say they had like 70% possession and like completely dominated play. Their pass success rate was higher, more shots on target, but somehow we've absolutely battered them. So it doesn't always tell the picture. This one, it does, doesn't it? It was a fairly even game. Both teams clearly wanted to attack, although if you believe a few Blackpool fans, we don't play football. We just kick George Honeyman.
It worked.
Well, yeah, no, it works. But so, Nick? What was your take on it all?
It was certainly a game where both teams looked slightly rusty. I mean, the goals came from mistakes ultimately. My overarching takeaway from it was we looked like a different beast in the sense that we would have chances last year and we would never take advantage of them. In this game, I think we took
one game.
Yeah, in this game we took every single one. So I think I was optimistic coming into the season anyway. I think off the back of the first game, I'm even more optimistic that we will score goals this year. And I think we probably played Blackpool at a decent time. They're still gelling as a squad. They had a lot of new additions in there, and actually I don't think they were playing their preferred shape really for majority of the game. But it's something to build on, some confidence to take into the first home game on Saturday. So positives all round.
Yeah, it was great seeing them looking sharp and playing like Revs want them to play, because they always wanted this kind of like high press, nick the ball high, create problems that way. And last season when we did that too often, when we won possession, we didn't create anything from it. This game, goals from Reedy, penalties from corners, goals from Kemp, coming from those high press, steal the ball opportunities. So if your glass half empty, you'll be saying, "Oh, we didn't create anything really on our own." But glass half full, we went away, we beat a side who everyone's expecting to be challenging for playoffs, maybe even automatics, and we were able to hassle them into 3 mistakes, score 3 goals away from home, and win the game. And what more can you ask for that?
And although we were gifted all 3 goals, I think that almost does a little bit of a disservice to us. I think our work rate and our determination to get the ball and press high up the pitch was ultimately what won us the game. I think, especially in the first half, that first 15, 20 minutes, you got Reedy, Robbo, Kempe all pushing up on their centre halves and their goalkeeper. And ultimately, it's going to cause mistakes. And if you look at the first goal, obviously it's a terrible back pass from Horsfall, but before the pass even played, you can see Reedy starting to make that run because he's anticipated, he's on his toes, ready to get the chance. So although he's been gifted it, he's kind of created it himself in a way.
Maybe a little bit lucky that Roberts didn't have a foul given against him for putting Horsfall on his arse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think realistically, if you look at it, and it would be a stat for you to find out, Nate, really. Can you find the turnovers in the game? That'll be the one for me, because if you win your turnovers, you win the game. It was that simple, and we worked really, really hard. That high press was unbelievable. It comes with its challenges, though, doesn't it? Because you're asking for your players that are trickier and more skillful to go out and put more pressure on, and that although is the plan, I then get worried about although we have got depth, you'll pick up nicks and niggles exactly the same with Louis Thompson, who's back in there again. He's pressing that ball, worked really hard, by the way, down the line, and then he's gone and tweaked his. I don't know if it was his groin, but it looks it to me. And that's just the worry, isn't it? If you play that high press game, you're going to pick up more injuries over the season. But certainly, if you look at what we've brought in over the summer, I think the quality of players is probably the best transfer or summer transfer window I've seen at Stevenage, for sure, in terms of quality coming in. So, it's brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. They worked so hard, and they turn up again on Saturday against Rotherham playing like that. I mean, we're in for a proper treat at home. I mean, you don't go away from home and try and play pretty football, but there was times in that second half where we were just pushing the ball around, and it was lovely to see away from home, and rattled a few fans, didn't it? And it was great. That's a Stevenage side for you.
Yeah. So it's the winning the turn, sort of the battle of turnovers was pretty even, to be honest.
Really?
16 successful, like fully successful tackles apiece. 73% success rate. We made like 18 more clearances than they did, and they made 3 more interceptions than we did. So it's pretty even across the two. Obviously, they just made 1 more mistake than us.
But I think part of that, and as we kind of talk about stats not telling the whole story, there was a solid kind of 20 minutes, half an hour really at the end of the game where we did sit back a little bit. And partly that was because we could. And so if that's 2-1, maybe we're pressing a little bit higher to try and nick a third going into that final 20, 30 minutes, but we didn't need to. And that's where those clearances have shot up, because we sat back a little bit knowing that the pressure was going to come and we prepared for it. And we can talk about subs and timings of subs. I think the subs themselves were the right ones, whether you think they were at the right time. But from a game management perspective, I think that's a game we probably feel a little bit more nervous going into those final few minutes. And I at least felt on Saturday, even after they got their second.
So it's worth noting that after the 65th minute, and let's talk about the changes in the game. It's worth noting that after the 65th minute, our possession dropped down to 25%. Which is, it's a big decrease. Substitutions that were made by Revs. We had on the 70th minute Bez Labala and Louis Thompson coming on for Jordan Roberts and Jordan Houghton. 71 minutes, just a moment later, Phoenix Patterson came on for Kem Campbell. 84th minute, Pattenden came on for Reed, and then 90th minute, Sweeney on for Kemp. I highlighted the 65th minute for a reason. That's because that's when they really started pushing. Sort of from then on, they brought off Horsfall and put on Finnegan to try and move things in the right direction. And Horsfall didn't have the greatest of games, whereas Finnegan came on and was more solid, and was and just moved the ball better. I think it's another one, and you're right, Nick. It's another one of those situations where Revs has made the right changes, but they felt 5-10 minutes later than potentially they should have been. I mean, particularly, I don't think. To be fair, I don't think I'd have brought off Campbell for Patterson on the 70th minute. I'd have probably made one of the later substitutions, so Pattenden for Reed or Sweeney for Kemp earlier. I think I would have liked the 5 at the back slightly earlier for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think the change. I mean, we saw Louis Thompson and his impact when he came on. Labala probably didn't have the impact we were hoping he was going to have coming onto the pitch, and that's where the Patterson change I think happened a lot earlier, and then maybe we might not even have been thinking of making that change, but it was just to add a bit more defensive stability down that right hand side. And then obviously the switch into the 5 was very much just to see the game through. I mean, we ended with essentially 6 defenders on the pitch, which, I mean, I think that's brilliant. When you're away from home, a goal behind, do whatever you can to see the game through. I don't think we should be ashamed of having 6 defenders on the pitch to see through a result. But like you say, could have been a little bit earlier in terms of going to that 5 and pushing Luther into a right centre-back position. We had Pidge and Good both on bookings for probably a bit too long.
I would have liked to have seen probably Pidge out of the 2 removed, Sweeney on, and then probably Pattenden on as well at the same time, moving Luther inside just to give us one fewer yellow cards to be concerned about.
Their second goal came from exactly the concern you highlighted a couple of episodes ago about really slow centre-back line. So if they can catch Butler, in this case, too high up the pitch and play it in the channel behind him, a fast striker can cause those 2 problems, and the keeper didn't help the situation with his positioning there. Yeah,
I mean, Pidge was miles out of position as well. He was a good 10-15 yards too high up, and you can see his reaction. The ball comes through, he turns, and his hands are on his head almost immediately as he's sort of following back. You can see that he's reacted and he's gone, "Oh, I've cocked up here." I think you got to give Ennis. Ennis is someone I give a hard time quite regularly to because I think he's pissed. But it was a good finish. He was helped by the fact that Marshall was very, very slow coming off of his line. But you still got to do the job, haven't you?
Yeah, if you're a striker in League One and doesn't finish that 1v1, you shouldn't be a striker in League One. If it was one of our players that had done that, we would have been going absolutely mental. So, yeah, positioning, you can say what you like, but realistically, the back line got completely caught out, which caught the keeper out, really. So, should have been dealt with, but we moved on, didn't we?
Yeah, precisely. Let's talk about Jamie Reid.
Looking really sharp.
Some performance. Better than any performance of his I remember last season.
I think I said it on the day, and then it was in his interview. I think he mentioned it as well, that it's so blindingly obvious what a full pre-season can do for a professional generally, but especially for Jamie Reid. I mean, he looked like a completely different player to the entirety of last season, really, on Saturday. So good sign that maybe his 20-goal season will be back, and Facebook might not be as worried if we don't sign another striker.
Man, isn't he?
Go on, Aaron. Sorry, mate.
That's right. No, he's just the definition of a confidence man. I think if he gets a couple of goals behind him weekly, and like you say, has that pre-season where he's banging in a few, whether it's behind closed doors or in front of fans, he just needs a bit of confidence and a bit of self-belief. And if he has that, he's one of the best strikers in the league, without a doubt. So I think the fact he's got 2 goals this early in the season is only going to be a good thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
And that interview he did was one of the nicest interviews I've seen a Stevenage player do. Speaking to Dean, he said as he came out for the interview, he just gave him a massive hug because it's exactly what Reid's about, isn't it? And if he's firing, we're firing.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that.
It's been the fact for a couple of years now. If Reid has a good game, the likelihood is we're going to win the game. That's as close to the matter of fact as it is, isn't it? It's concerning that over the length of time that it's been now that we've relied on that, but hopefully, I think once everyone's settled and once we sort of really go, and I think we've definitely got some players that can help to release some of that burden on him. But it's
And we've also potentially got one more player to come in, haven't we? Really, that number 9 shirt is still sat there waiting, and I'm sure they're working on it. So again, if that's another.
I do wonder whether it's going to be 2 players.
You reckon?
Yeah. So with Louis potentially pulling up again, screams that we might have rushed him back a little bit.
Yeah, and we do look light in that sort of defensive midfield a bit.
And the fact, we've gone from being concerned that we might not see him again at one point in the summer, early on in the summer, to being like, how the fuck is he starting? And then how the fuck is he involved? Sorry, how the fuck is he on the bench? And then the next thing you know, he comes on. Admittedly, has a few absolute shining moments, picking the ball up in midfield and just using it really intelligently to keep it away from Blackpool, or just picking it up in the middle of the park and fucking galloping the length of the pitch with it. But then he pulls up, and that's obviously it's one of those players that it's sometimes it's only really clear how much you miss him when you don't have him.
Yeah, the release of pressure at the time was really vital, but you wonder at what cost, because with Phillips already out from the injury in pre-season, granted I think they said weeks, not months, that's good, but with him and Louis Thompson out, it looks thin in that, like, what we've got left, Harvey White.
Ryan Doherty, chicken.
Yeah, had to shine.
I can't see there's any way that Louis would have been put onto that pitch if he wasn't 100% ready. I just can't see it. Yeah. I mean, look what we've done with Listy when he was with us. Kept him and got him through his ACL. Same as Freeman now. There is no way a sports scientist in that club is going to turn around and go, well, he's probably 65. Just get him out there because we're low on numbers. I can't see it.
Sometimes I wonder about the players, and they're going, "Yeah, I'm ready. I feel great." When perhaps I don't. Maybe they're not being honest with themselves. Maybe they just want to play so bad that they don't care about the risk.
The intensity of the first EFL outing of the season it would be very different. I imagine he might have played a part in the behind closed doors game against Cambridge, which was the test. But ultimately, the physicality of going into a league match away from home could have been what pushed it slightly too far. I think. Does he play as many minutes as he did if Houghton isn't having probably one of the poorer debuts we've seen? I don't know, but like you said, I mean, he wouldn't have been put on the pitch if they didn't think he could play. Whether it was just on that cusp that it was, I mean, he did 2 surging runs before the third one that actually he pulled up on. So you're probably looking going, oh, he's fine. Sometimes,
and I guess as well, when you're in the stadium and you watch us do our official pre-match warm-up, it's so much more intense than a substitute's warm-up.
Yeah.
So they go through a solid half hour of pre-warm.
Yeah.
Some stretching, some ball work, etc. Whereas he's jogging up and down the touchline, waving at the fans, and ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's the subs have gone through that as well, but then they've sat down for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, an hour before they even really go and have a proper jog down the side. And all it is stretching. Just remember that it's a bit of jogging and stretching down the sidelines when they're warming up in it. It's not exactly it's not exactly a good workout. But
we're also presuming that he's got injured again. He might be absolutely fine.
Yeah,
next week.
Yeah, absolute shit. Yeah,
and
we just won 3-2. Yeah, we're all crying about Louis Thompson, and we've just won 3-2. Scored our first goals at Blackpool, and we're like, oh.
That's how important he is to us.
Yeah,
isn't it?
At the end of the day. I just wanted to touch on the ref having the bottle to give a penalty. How many times have we seen a ref
many of those last year?
Absolutely choke on a stone wall? You can see that he's twitched and he's gone to give it and then thought better of it. So the fact that he hasn't even taken an appeal. second his hands come up and slap the ball away, whistle, penalty.
Especially when the half is so nearly over. Like, he could have just been counting down the seconds until blowing that half-time whistle, but he's actually decision there and then to give the penalty, which obviously was a penalty. There's no denying that. But a lot of refs may have just thought, oh, you know what, it's 10 seconds till half-time. I'm just going to wait here and get it done, because that first half took forever to end.
First game of the season, let's see it out.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best of angles of it on the highlights, so it wasn't totally clear-cut, but you could kind of tell from how adamant the Stevenage players were and how mild the protestations from the Blackpool players were that it pretty much was. So, yeah.
I watched it and didn't see it until I saw the replay of Pidge going absolutely mental as soon as it struck his hand. Just didn't see it so quick.
I always think it's, especially with handballs, it's really telling with the way the player themselves reacts before the referee is even blowing his whistle. See it at a QA. Hand comes up, slaps the ball away. He goes straight to the ref, like spins immediately to stare at him. Ref blows, and then he's like, and then the protestations start. But it's.
I mean, it says a lot about the standard of EFL officiating if we're praising a referee for giving a stonewall handball penalty. But considering some of the decisions this weekend in other fixtures, it still was poor as it was last year, unfortunately. But
the refs need time to gel as well, apparently.
But he refereed 9 times in League One last season. He should be used to it by now. All right, let's move on to let's have a quick look at some of the new players that were on show. So obviously Marshall, Houghton, and Kem Campbell started. Otherwise, it was as you were largely, and then obviously we saw Pattenden, Labala, and Patterson all come on. Although
Pattenden and Patterson is going to do us a wrong in this season, isn't it?
it's Phoenix.
Yeah, he's got Phoenix on the jersey.
Phoenix,
We'll just go with that.
I'm calling Phoenix. Phoenix came on. I think the subs, none of them really had a long enough to really give us anything. I will put it out there. 2 pretty poor debuts from our goalkeeper and our central defensive midfielder, however. Houghton obviously made the mistake for the first goal, then made a mistake for another one, which if it could have gone way worse for us. Marshall faced 2 shots on target and saved 0, letting them both in.
Beaten at the near post on the Houghton one as well. Like, it's bad for Houghton to give him the ball back, but equally, when you can see he's annoyed, he smashes the post. But yeah. It's not great.
I'm glad Rev's bagged it in his post-match though with Houghton. He did say by his own admission that it wasn't a very good debut, and maybe in the past he would have kind of just not mentioned it and brushed it under. He was very open and honest, but hopefully with a player of his experience, this will be something that almost motivates him to not do that again. Pretty much.
I'd rather he had a shocker in his debut that we win than a shocker that we lose. So get him out of the way as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I went on the Blackpool the It's Not Orange podcast on Thursday, and I said something that raised some eyebrows. I said, August, you can almost treat it as a month of free hits, because if you lose all of them and you're experimenting and it don't go right, you've got plenty of time to recover from it. Ideally, you don't want to waste the entire month, but there's plenty of time to recover from it. Orient were in the relegation zone in like mid-September, late September last year, and went on to the playoff final. August, September, or end of part of September, you can absolutely throw to the dogs. So it's much better that he's getting that sort of shit out of his system now than later on.
But it was
hopefully
it was quite odd, really, because he went off, and then actually the midfield felt less balanced. He was having a pretty poor game, but it felt like it was on the ball. He was being quite poor when he was. It was either too many fouls. I think he made 4 in the game, and 3 of them came within the first half an hour. But it did feel like when you have Louis Thompson, who rightfully was getting the ball and driving, White felt then a bit lost. Whereas with Houghton taking up spaces behind a bit, let White do that little bit more of the pushing forward. So hopefully once Houghton's back on his game, we'll see an even stronger midfield and one that doesn't make as many mistakes in our own box.
And he was leading the press that led to our first goal as well, so it wasn't all bad. And I don't think you play 40 plus games in the Championship if your level is, what we've been concerned by. So I'm sure.
I don't think there are many fan bases that are going to be as devastated as the Plymouth fan base was about a player leaving if they're going to do that every week.
Yeah, I think he will be our marquee signing from the summer. I think give it 10 games and everyone's going to go, wow, we've got some.
It was certainly a statement, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Such an important position in how we want to play as well. Such an important position.
Yeah, absolutely.
As big as St Albans or not quite?
I missed that. Say again.
I said, as big as Bozzy for St Albans or not quite that big?
He scored.
He did, but he definitely fouled the centre-back as well. We'll gloss over that because he didn't give it.
As big as Norris for Boreham Wood.
Oh, absolutely. Scored on Saturday, didn't he? Quite a lot of our expats scored on the weekend. Obviously at Cambridge as well. Apparay
scored.
Scoring as well, yeah.
Finley Bird scored.
Finley Bird scored.
They're all doing that, but
for Hitchin, I don't know. But just going back to the goalkeeper, although you mentioned him, we didn't really talk about him too much. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because they're saying that they've got to fight toe to toe, those two, for the number one. Yet he's got the number one shirt. It's just interesting. I can't remember many seasons we've actually got two goalkeepers that are our own goalkeepers. So it seems like it's a real investment for Marshall to come to us with pedigree and someone they think is going to be the number one for a long time. That's not discrediting Tay going in there, but
sure.
I don't know,
It's telling though, isn't it? Like
Tay's been stripped to that number one shirt.
Not even in for a week, loses the number one shirt and doesn't start on the Saturday. It says a lot about what the pecking order is, quite frankly, even if the narrative is that they're fighting for the number one shirt.
Does Tay stay then?
Yeah.
If I'm him, I wouldn't be surprised if he was looking around. I mean, he's not going to start games. Let's be real. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's looking at maybe even a League Two stint, whether it's a loan or whether it's a permanent. I wouldn't be surprised if he's asking the question.
I think at this stage, I'd be surprised if he goes. Personally, I think he's.
I think he's probably nice in there. I know we say that he's been stripped of the shirt, but his core of the squad, he's known for a good few years now, like 2 or 3 years at least. Yeah. So he's probably in with a really good group of lads that he's known for a while, and he's probably quite content, I think, for now. Whether in time he's still as content, we'll see. But...
Well, we sold the other fashionista, didn't we?
The press.
Honestly, some of the pictures of those two.
Iconic, I think is the word.
Trash.
You can hear the jealousy in his voice. Can I ask a question about our third goal? Did that come from them taking a short corner to the keeper? Because that was cut off the highlights. All you see is him passing it to Jordan Roberts inexplicably on the edge of his own box.
I don't think it was a short goal kick. I missed it, and then obviously I've only seen the replay like you. I don't think it was a short goal kick. It looked like the goalkeeper had the ball in his hands.
Because it's baffling, because we've got like Kemp really high in their box. We've got Reed really high in their box, which means Roberts has targets straight away. And it just struck me that we're already 2-1 up away from home. So to have that amount of press at a time, we could be like, well, we're one up. Let's just contain them here and make sure. It bodes well for how positively they were thinking at that point in the game. And yes, they sat back at 3-1 with 20 minutes to go, but they were progressive at 2-1 still. Yeah, well, they got the lead by that. They got the 2-goal lead by that point. So
yeah,
well, I think we'd smelled blood, hadn't we? I mean, Peacock Farrell had a couple of hairy moments before that. Obviously, there was then the miscommunication for him and Horsfall for one of our goals as well. So it's definitely one where we saw the opportunity and we rightfully went and took it.
Yeah,
we have seen. It was. Yeah, we have seen far too often us sitting on those single goal leads when we are playing at a level that would suggest that you're going to go and push. So it's a really really good omen, and it's something that we should all be quite excited for, to see that happening more.
Especially when we've come from behind to get to that
Yeah.
position, and rather than going, let's not try our luck, we've actually gone, yeah, we will try our luck, and we've gone and got a third.
Yeah.
Well, and all you want from now on is the consistency of exactly that. Do you know what I mean? The club seems to be doing so many productive things, especially after the meet the chairman the other week, where he's really pushing us to the next level. It doesn't feel like we're that League One minnow anymore. I personally feel like we're in amongst the mid-table of League One sides, and he's doing all he can to make sure we secure that for years to come. So, yeah, we just need the consistency of those performances, because, boy, do we need more people in that stadium this season.
Absolutely.
We really, really do. So you get a win under your belt Saturday against Rotherham, that's just get more people in there. Just helps, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Right, it's time for a little bit of a quiz.
Oh, no. Do you mind if I go for a shower?
Yes, I do.
It's all right. You can't be worse than me at these quizzes.
Trust me, Nick.
Nick is pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. Right, the first player we're going with started his career in 1998. So Pat, it's not Robin Shreet. He started at Chippenham Town. Generally thought Pat was going to bite them and go,
come on.
Either
I'm not a massive
right
expert in Chippenham.
A year later, he moved to Swindon Town. Before spending time on loan at Yeovil Town. And then the following season at Woking.
Boo!
Oh, no.
Rightly so. Before making a permanent move to Woking.
Nick.
Go on.
Oh.
Nicholas.
Luke Wilkinson.
Incorrect.
No.
So I don't remember you ever making a guess before, if I'm honest. Because you got this wrong, you can't guess after the next team, but the following one you can.
I think we should still celebrate the fact that Nick's put his head on the block there and had a go.
Yeah,
So well done.
absolutely.
Congratulations, mate.
It's not
Well
the
done for
worst.
being wrong.
It's not the worst guess. I mean, it's bad. It's wrong, but 2001, he spent on loan at Havant and Waterlooville. We're going deep on this one.
We are.
Before 2003, heading back to Chippenham Town.
AFC Salem.
2004 was at Forest Green Rovers. 2005 to 2007, he was at Wycombe Wanderers.
This is quite the trek.
Before being loaned
This is
back.
journeyman.
Before being loaned back
Right.
to Forest Green Rovers. 2007, he moved to Newport County. This is a crazy history. If you're watching and you've got any ideas, chuck them in the comments.
And then we'll see him
probably
in
will
5
put it.
minutes' time when we've got past the end of the quiz section.
2008, Salisbury City, permanent.
Wow.
move
Step up.
Before moving to Stevenage.
Pat.
What?
It's always who he played for before that gives it to Pat. Go
Yeah,
on.
because I don't look past his history at that point. It's just like, what is his goals per game ratio for Salisbury City? It's Charlie Griffin, isn't it?
It's Charlie Griffin.
Yeah.
I think we need to have a Pat caveat where he's only able to answer if nobody else got it at the end.
Okay, fine.
Because otherwise he just gets them all.
Well, he has to wait for one after Stevenage before he can guess.
Yeah. Okay, the second player started their career in 2006 at Port Vale.
Pat.
Of course it is. Go on.
Tom Pett.
No.
No.
Before in 2008 going to Lee RMI on loan. And then in 2009 going to Salisbury City on loan.
There's a theme.
Who knew we'd have seen Salisbury twice? To 2010 at Kiddie, before going to Southend, where he spent 6 years and making 131 appearances.
Is it Timlin?
It's not Timlin.
Ah.
I so nearly shot then, so thank you for.
Oh, Nick, I've never got a question right on these bloody things, so I'm just showing willing.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate it for sure. 2011, in that stint at Southend, he did spend some time on loan at Rushden and Diamonds and at Northampton Town before moving to Colchester and making 103 appearances over 4 years there. Before making the final move of his career to Stevenage in 2020. Go on, Nick.
Luke Prosser.
It's Luke Prosser. He's got one.
Well played, sir.
Right, where's the confetti cannon? Oh no, there isn't one of this. Shit,
Luke
I feel
Prosser.
like we need like.
Do you know how much my adrenaline went up there just to get in before Pat?
Next week I'm gonna have a little party popper for you.
Who was when Luke Prosser played for us? Who was his manager when he came to the end of time with us?
Reps?
No, Steve
Yes.
Evans.
Was
No.
it? Also,
I'm sure it was.
I think it was as well.
It was.
Or did Revs bring him in?
His
We had,
first manager was Revs.
Oh, okay.
It was 21-22 season, so
Yeah.
Steve Evans like shipped him off in the summer, I think.
yeah.
I remember hearing him
he
talk to
retired.
someone in the stadium. He literally was letting him have it in the ground, sat down near me, and I was like, "Wow." He hated the man.
Right. Okay. The final player on the quiz. 2016. Started his career at Tottenham Hotspur.
Nick.
There's
Oh, go on.
only one you're
Amos.
gonna guess.
It is Luke Amos.
Oh,
He got him. And he's
I'm
won.
done. I'm done. I'm off.
Wow.
championship tambourine there for Nick. Look at him.
Shit over the head.
I feel like I'm back at Oasis already.
Hang on. Here we go. Here we go. Oh no! Hang on. How's that? They fixed the ticker. We got the text all the way.
It's a
across.
new season. It's new Nick. He actually wins quizzes.
Wow.
Right. Okay. Let's have a look. Look at the fixtures across the weekend of football. So Luton won on the opening evening on Friday,
Very good.
squeaking past AFC Wimbledon 1-0. Absolute dross pile of shit game that was.
Before the Borough player scored, though.
Eh?
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson own goal.
It's what they do when they leave us.
Yeah, absolutely.
That new aircraft.
Cardiff Saturday lunchtime beat Peterborough 2-1 after going 1-0 down and looking absolute wank. Obviously, we beat Blackpool on the road. Bradford beat Wickham at home. Burton beat Mansfield at home. Doncaster beat Exeter at home. Huddersfield absolutely beat the cream of the crop. Smashed them 3-0. Then you had Lincoln winning 2-0 against Reading. Plymouth losing 3-1. 3-1 against 10-man Barnsley. Before Rotherham beat Port Vale. 2 red cards in that game. Wigan and Northampton was 3-1 in favour of Wigan. And Stockport County on Sunday beat Bolton 2-0 after Nick said it was going to finish 0-0. Twice. I think Nick and the second time Drakkers made comment about the fact that no one was going to score here, or I think Drakkers said Bolton looked like they're going to score. Literally instantly, Stockport went down the other end and scored both times. So top fucking work, boys.
Yeah.
Normally I say stuff and Stevenage concede, so it's nice that it's other people.
It's just the way I read the game. I've just got a natural ability to do it, to be fair. Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. Right, let's look around the leagues in general. So we'll start with the League One table. Leighton Orient at the bottom.
Come on.
Whee.
Hold on. Look, Leighton Orient at the bottom. And who cares for the rest? That's all I was saying. Just wanted to get that in there. That's it.
God for that.
Let's
We
move
were
on.
top of the league for about 9 minutes on Saturday.
We were fifth at the moment.
Where are Carlisle in the league these days, by the way?
They're not in the Football League, are they?
We
Talking about National League,
Similar
though,
position.
Morecambe look like they've absolutely fucking had it. They've run out of money today, haven't they? So officially, I mean, I think they've been given till the 20th to be able to get a deal done. But if they don't get a deal done by the 20th, so they've got 2 weeks. It's curtains, unfortunately for them. And it's just fucking hideous that we are here again with a club on the brink because they've got some fucking lunatic running them who just doesn't give a fuck. The fact that the EFL and the FA have let it happen again, you know, they're happy for Man United, who say they have no money, to make 450 people redundant and spend over 100 million on transfers, spend 3 billion on a new stadium, but they have no money and they need to make redundancies. But they can't fucking save a club when they're in a shit like this. Honestly, if the independent regulator coming in doesn't have the power to remove ownership, remove these fucking lunatics, the cunt from Reading, this fucking knobheads in Morecambe, the twats that were involved at Macclesfield and at Bury, and you know, we've had them at Sheffield Wednesday. I was getting there. We've had them at Pompey, and there's the fucking knob end at Sheffield Wednesday now, who look like they're on their brink. I mean, they've lost their manager, they're losing players. I mean, it's incredible that Barry Bannon's stayed on. It's absolutely fucking insane that it continues to happen, and I just why do the FA and the EFL pretend to give a fuck and then do fuck all? I just don't understand. The thing for
me is like the amount it would cost to run Morecambe for a year is like a fraction of a transfer at a top 5 club. And that disparity is like we're killing an entire club because they need to pay this one guy an exorbitant amount of money. It's unbelievable.
This one feels, the Morecambe one especially feels quite difficult to swallow, for the sense that there is literally a buyer there who's already been helping over this period of time to support with wages. And it is simply an owner being stubborn and arrogant who will not sign the piece of paper that transfers the ownership.
Yeah,
that's the position they're in. It's not that there's no one there willing to save them. It's that the current ownership don't want them to be saved.
What really shows how little the authorities care about this one is the fact that the owner and his fucking pal have done this to a rugby club already. Like I think Warrington Warriors or Wizards or whatever the fuck they're called, or were called. They did the exact same things to them, took them over and ran them into the fucking ground. And it's insane that these sorts of people are able to take over football clubs. Wild.
It's people's livelihoods at the end of the day. I can't imagine waking up tomorrow and not Stevenage to just go to every Saturday. That's what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with just a football club that's now a business. It's like people's livelihoods.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what would you do if the club was just gone tomorrow? Like, what would you do on Saturday? Would you go right? Well, I need to go to Hitchin, or I need to go to Luton, or
get yourself down to Wade.
Like where would you go? I think I'd just be sat at home on the sofa going, I want to go to any of these clubs. I don't like these clubs. They're not my club.
Just love for the game. I think the whole love of the game that you had out the window. And that is what
that is crushing. On a cheerier note, we're back at the Lamets on Saturday. We get to hear Draka's dulcet tones entertain us through a really crappy tannoy.
No, my friend. No.
You on the good speakers now?
No. We're on you. Just wait. That's all I'm going to say. Just wait for Saturday. I hope you're pleasantly. No. Just wait. Just wait. Give me feedback Saturday night.
All right.
It's going to be great.
You regularly in the Borough Pod chat, at least in the season, come up with these little things. Do you think this would work? I've had this idea. You come up with so many good ideas, and so few of them come to fruition. I really wish they'd fucking listen to you more, mate.
Well, like I just said, just wait till Saturday night.
Well, it'll be nice. It'd be nice if one of your ideas lasts more than 1 week as well.
Well, we'll see Saturday, won't we? Because I stood on the side of the pitch there and went, why don't we do this? And then the people that were with me went, yeah, all right, let's do it. So, yeah, we'll see Saturday. In fact, there's lots going on Saturday. I think you're going to walk into that stadium and go, oh, this looks great around here. There's lots going on. So it's going to be wicked. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be back just as a fan. I can go in the 76 before the game, and I don't have to leave at fucking 1 p.m. to go.
I might actually see you in there.
Start working. I can go. I can have a beer. I can have a couple of beers, even as long as the missus can drive home. The family are coming. Both my daughters and my wife are going to be there. I'm buzzing. It's going to be top. We're in the West, which is an experiment. Fingers crossed my daughter doesn't like being at football all year, and then I can go back in the East next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to call Saturdays an experiment. So, yeah, feedback would be great. I've got a gig Saturday night, so feedback will be taken Sunday morning. So,
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, right. Well, let's look at Rotherham. They won 2-1 against Port Vale in what was a fairly even tie. Port Vale had more shots and more possession, but obviously, that doesn't mean anything these days, does it? They both got red cards. Port Vale were already 2-0 down when Headley got sent off, and then Rotherham's Zach Jules, who's their sort of left-sided centre back, got sent off for a second yellow. Made one or two decent signings. I'm interested to see what Tango'd does there. Obviously, they've got Nombe and Hugo up front, which could be a fairly fearsome pairing if things go well. I was really confident about this one. Weirdly, I was really confident about this one before we played Blackpool. The closer we're going to get into this one, I'm getting a bit more like, I don't know how I feel about this one now.
I mean, it feels like one of those ones where when we went into them last year, it was a bit of a, if we lose, we lose. Especially that last home game of the season, it was one where all the build up got taken out as soon as Evans got sacked. Anyway, they don't.
And then
look
it got moved.
Yeah, they don't look great. It doesn't even look like they have a replacement for Jules. Now he's suspended, so they might even change shape.
Yeah.
They've got a Tete on loan from Cardiff, so he briefly featured, and it might be that he starts against us on Saturday. But
yeah, I think he would.
Yeah. I think it'll be a fairly even game, but it's one that we should feel like we can win.
We should have some confidence. I know. I do this quite a lot. I'll be really confident 2 weeks before a game, and then before kickoff, I'm like, I think we're going to lose. I still, I don't think it's ever going to matter how many years ago us being bottom of League Two and being absolutely drossed for like 4 or 5 seasons in a row, more or less. I think that's going to stay with me for a lifetime. I just can't get over it.
I mean, it is worth saying that it probably should have ended 2-2 because Tollage hit the post in the last couple of minutes. So probably would look very, very different on paper if that had gone in, and we probably wouldn't even be talking about having a little bit of nerves for that game.
Yeah.
I don't think Rotherham were that great in this one. They conceded to 10 men, but they capitalised on a couple of defensive mistakes. And we've shown that we've got that in us as well. So it's just a case of tidying things up ourselves at the back and punishing them.
But you did say first 4 games are free hits, really, aren't they? First 4 or 5 games. However, they're going to be watching the replays from Saturday and know that we're all guns blazing realistically and flying forward. So, I mean, do you look at that away game and then turn around and go, do you know what, we'll play a low block against Stevenage? Because we saw that quite a lot last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
low
No,
block teams, and I was like, oh,
I don't think Rotherham are the sort. I mean, maybe they are. Who knows? I don't feel like Rotherham are the sort that they're going to come and just sit and sort of dig in. I think Matthew Hamshaw, I think he's got a little bit more nous about him than that, and I think that they'll look to try and expose our centre backs. They play really attacking, like James and sort of Hall, that were the wing backs at the weekend. They didn't really operate as wing backs; they were like full on wingers, which did hurt Rotherham a couple of times down those flanks because Headley and Clark were trying to push forwards. I mean, Headley not for very long, but they ran the risk a couple of times of getting caught out down those sides, and it was only really sort of killing it off in the second half by just sort of taking a pace out of the game that sort of did it for them. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I think they're a bit more tactical now there about it, but I'd like it if they don't sit in, because we fucking stink. Well, at least last year we were so bad at breaking down that low block. So hopefully, we historically better against teams that try to play football against us, try to move forward and be positive. It makes for a more entertaining game as well, doesn't it? If both teams are trying to play the game to win football rather than one just sitting in and trying to contain the other.
I think we've got more variety in our squad though to be able to address a game like that. I mean, Phoenix is one of those players that will be tricky in and around the box in a low block. So if Roberts isn't fit, kind of fit in for that game,
or he gets a yellow card in the first 5 minutes,
because Roberts very much likes to get the ball and drive at defences. If they're sitting in a low block, I think he does struggle a little bit to create. But if you've got Phoenix off the bench, Phoenix, Kemp, these are all tricky players that love to play in between those lines. That I think that's our way in if we do come up against a low block at all this season.
How do I announce?
Had more about him defensively than I expected as well against Blackpool. I was pleased to see that.
Would you play the same 11 as Blackpool, or would you change?
If Thompson's fit, potentially start Thompson. After earlier saying, did we bring him back too soon? If he's genuinely fit and ready to go, absolutely. I think we start him. Give Houghton just. I don't know.
I think you start Houghton every game you can. I think it's White that comes out if you put Louis Thompson in.
No, that's too defensive though. That's way too defensive minded. I think if you put not that necessarily Louis Thompson is like a defensive minded midfielder, but he's not really attacking midfielder, is he? Whereas I think fuck it, I don't know, maybe.
You probably can.
I'm changing my mind as I go here. I don't know because I think you ideally play both Houghton and Thompson on the right hand side of the centre mid. I don't really want Houghton or Louis on the left hand side of the two, to be honest. But then you run into a predicament where you're starting White every single game of the season. I'm not sure that's a good idea either.
I wouldn't change a winning team. I think it's that simple.
I would start Phoenix over Campbell personally on the left. I think he has not that Campbell doesn't drive at the defense, but I think that we want to see. I want to see Phoenix push into the byline down that flank, because Campbell, I think, has more of a tendency to cut in. I mean, not that Phoenix doesn't cut in, he does, but I think Phoenix is more likely to drive fully to the byline. So
I do think Phoenix could be a good asset off the bench there over the course of the season. I think, and we'll probably stick with that Saturday. I think if we're struggling in the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, bring him on, and he's going to be the quickest, most energetic player by a country mile. So if we're not starting him,
the problem is depending on the sort of the way the game's going. Like we did that on Saturday, but we didn't get a chance to utilize him really. He made a couple of good blocks and good interceptions on that left side, quite deep, sort of helping Butler out. But he didn't have a lot of opportunities to get the ball at his feet and go at a team, or go at the defenders, or even chase it down. If it did come forward, it was all down the right hand side. I want to see him get a good run of minutes on Saturday. That'd be nice.
Got a message in chat from Silver and Black echoing our concerns about lack of pace at centre back. Do you see a point this season where we start Pattendon at right back, move Luther in to centre back, because he's probably our paciest centre back option, albeit like maybe fifth choice if you rank them all just on overall capability?
It's a tricky one, really, because historically slower defenders have generally been the more intelligent ones, and I would say apart from that goal that Ennis scored at the weekend, I don't think we looked that troubled by Ennis's pace or anyone's pace, really. It was just that one occasion that we just got really caught out. So do I think there'll be an occasion where we might see Luther as a centre-back in a 2? Maybe, but probably more of a forced thing rather than us doing it from a tactical perspective. We'll definitely see him as a right centre-back in a 3 a lot, I think, especially in the last 15, 20 minutes of games where we're trying to see out an away result. But it's an option that we can use if we needed to, for sure.
Yeah, it's not something...
On his day, Luther's probably one of the best players in his position in the league.
Yeah, fair. You wouldn't want to mess that up.
No, not at all. I mean, you still got Swings there as well, to be fair. And I've put money on it that Houghton can also do a job there because he's a bit of a giant as well.
Yeah, and Freestone. We're pretty blessed at centre back.
Yeah, I mean we've got 4. How many times over the last sort of 5-6 years have we even had eight defenders, recognised defenders? We've usually had one less centre back. So where say it's in a position where if one gets injured, we have one spare at best. Or we've got a player that is sort of a centre back, sort of a right back, and we can fill in at left. And I think we're in a really great position this year where we don't have to use Luther out of position to make the best of things. I think there will be times when we're playing. I think I like Huddersfield, for instance, where I think we might see Luther play centre back, but that's because I think we'll probably play a 3 to make sure we've got Luther's pace there to deal with your Alfie Mays or whoever. I think again, certainly against the likes of Rotherham, Hugo and Nombe. While I said I think they could be a decent partnership, they didn't trouble me too much. Like I'm not that concerned. If we don't make mistakes, I think we should marshal them pretty well. I also want to add in actually that I didn't mention earlier. I think one thing that Marshall does really well is he's really commanding in the box. He comes out and claims things in the air, and he's a tall lad and does that really well. So that's nice to see.
What was the communication like? Because I know that was a concern with Tay.
I don't know. I wasn't in Blackpool, so I couldn't hear him.
Find out on Saturday then.
I think that the one thing with when we talk about that defensive line as well is equally your goalkeeper and how high their starting position is when you're pressing as well. I think Cooper was very, very good at being high off his line, ready to defend those one-on-ones. And I said on Saturday, I think Cooper probably makes it more difficult for Ennis in that position. Maybe Ennis still scores, but I don't think it looks as easy. And that's one thing that I do slightly worry with Marshall is he's very similar to Tay in that respect, I think, in terms of how high they get off their line when we're out of possession or if we're up in the other third. And that's going to be quite important.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It might be something that he's been told, particularly sort of at Blackpool, maybe don't play so high. Whereas at home against Rotherham, I think the onus would probably be on us to play a higher line across the board. Blackpool certainly, Blackpool would be a much tougher game to justify playing so high.
Yeah, well, it's first game for Stevenage as well, isn't it? First game in a natural shirt for him being slung straight on there. I'm sure there's a bit of nerves building in there and playing it a bit safe. So,
4 or 5 days in the building? Yeah, 4 or 5 days in the building. Still probably trying to remember everyone's names. Yeah, so 22 years old. So hopefully he'll grow into it, and we won't even be talking about it by November.
He doesn't have to remember everybody's names. They're on the back of their shirts, mate.
It's just better, isn't it?
Well, one of the things from Swansea being so close to the pitch in Spain was you just heard Tay literally, genuinely just shouting people's last names, Freestone, Sweeney, like all over. And I think that was probably where people picked up: is the communication there, or is he just shouting everyone's names?
Are you sure it was him and not his butler?
I was going to say, that was not an impression of Tay, was it either? He only generally calls out anyone with a double barrel surname.
So the only person he speaks to is Luther.
Love it.
Nonsense. Yeah, brilliant. Right, I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it. Sorry, Drakkers. I know you love this.
I've got mine sorted already. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Go on then. You've got it already. I don't
5 o'clock Saturday. 5 o'clock Saturday, we are going to walk out of that stadium after an emphatic 2-0 home win.
Top of the league.
Bosh.
Jamie Reid, Bosh, big goal Reedy on the tannoy. Throw it up, Rotherham. We're out of there.
If Kemp scores, can you please announce the goal scored by Sparky?
I mean, like I said, you need to watch his face. We got some tricks up our sleeve.
Oh well, I'm looking forward to it. Aaron.
Before we get to Aaron, sorry, how am I going to announce Phoenix?
Phoenix. Just Phoenix.
It's like Phoenix.
It's like Adele.
Adele, right? So Phoenix.
If
he was to score a goal, what would he play? He scores a goal, we play what? Phoenix Knights theme tune, or? There's a clue for you. There's a clue.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, it would be great if you've got like some sound bites of some of the best clips from Phoenix Knights. So you just like got them talking shit over the over the tower. That'd be fantastic. Aaron, go on, give us a score prediction.
Yeah, I'm with Drakkers, but I think we'll only win 1-0. I think it'll be quite an even game, but I can see us getting the upper edge on that one.
Well done, Aaron. It is stuffed now.
I was tempted to go 1-0, but I don't think I will. I'm gonna wait to see what Pat says.
Pat, what you got?
I'm going 2-1 win.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a Pat 6-0.
Bosh.
Do you know what? You lot have swung me around. I'm feeling more confident than I was this morning.
See, it's nice.
I'm gonna echo Drakkers. I think we're gonna win. 2-1, 2-0.
Oh,
2-0. Don't think we're gonna win. Yeah, 2. Let's just stick with 2-0. Fuck it.
one last question in the chat. Any chance we see Matthias Roberts starting in place of White on Saturday?
He weren't even on the
No.
bench on Saturday, so no.
Feels like a long shot, doesn't it? Although, didn't he scored loads in pre-season, right? So
He did.
3 were against Bishop Stortford, mine, but
What's his name?
See, I would be surprised if we do anything with him this season more than Evans did with White the season we signed him. You know, we saw White come in as this promising central midfielder from Tottenham, and then we saw him 3 times all season. You know, and it was only in the Pizza Cup. I'd be quite surprised if we might see him a bit more than that, but I don't know that we're going to see him.
We can afford to be patient with him because
often.
good players around the positions that he plays in. He's only 20, and
I mean, he's an attacking midfield. He's an attacking midfielder, right? So he's not going to supplant Roberts or Kemp, is he?
And he's not going to come in with the expectation to start every game. He's come from academy football, really. So it's his first sort of big step into men's football. Can't really expect to see much of him this season, but we can be patient with him.
The first time he starts, Drakkers, I'll give you 20 quid if you announce him as trialist.
trialist day.
All right.
Shit, I didn't think you'd say. Right. Anyway, that's us for this evening. Thank you for watching along, listening, whatever however it is you've joined us. If you got comments, say hello to us on Twitter, Facebook, blue sky or whatever, say hello to us at the grounds on Saturday if you notice any of us. I think we should get some Barapod merch, get some hats or something, and then just start giving them out. Because like, why would you buy it? Buy it. But I want one. I don't care about everybody else, to be honest. That'll do.
Can I request some fingerless gloves? That'd be quite nice.
Some fingerless gloves
On string, so I don't lose them.
on a string. Some fingerless gloves on a string.
Some niche
Do you know
Okay.
what? Do you know what? I'm gonna get my
Some
mum to
personalised
knit
Crocs
me
in
some.
as well.
No,
I would
no,
have
no, no,
them. I'd have
no. No, Nick. Crocs are for indoor use only, mate.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackers, I'll get my mum to knit you some fingerless gloves, mate.
Oh, that'd be dreamy.
She's blind. She can knit, actually. She genuinely can knit. So, yeah.
How many
see what-
fingers? And she's blind. About 7-fingered gloves.
Anyway, yeah, fucking. Let's
what a way to end it.
the endings of this are always fucking nonsense.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Pat missed me say up the borough, so he's just sat there smiling. Fuck's sake.
Look at
Oh,
his beautiful face.
right.
Yeah, never been said before.
I
I'll
like-
never said again.
I always like how unorganised the ending of this is, and like people have just watched us going, well, they said goodbye, and they're just still here chatting. See you, everyone. I can stop it on YouTube before I can stop it here. That's what I should do, because now we can do like a bonus bit